Thanks, Manoj, for having me on your show. So my name is Christy Fernandez. I'm the founder of Surya EV. We are based in Singapore, and what we are building is a ride-share vehicle for the emerging markets. Reasons I've been an entrepreneur for a couple of decades now, and what I've been looking for is how can I actually create social impact. And now with climate crisis, I was also looking at, how can we, kind of alleviate the climate crisis that is going to be upon us. So many things came together, and from a social impact, my focus is the emerging markets, the developing countries. So mobility is a big issue in the emerging markets, and affordable, comfortable mobility is a very big issue. And mobility is also, I would say, a hurdle to prosperity. Today with mobile phones, many people have a path to prosperity, but the next hurdle for them is mobility, access to mobility. So this is the focus, and this is an area where large manufacturers are not looking at. So if you look at the developing countries, there are lots of, homegrown solutions that are coming out. For example, in India, you have the electric rickshaws, the shared rickshaws. If you go to Philippines, you have the jeepneys. You go to Cambodia and Vietnam, you have bikes. If you go to Thailand, you have the tuk-tuk. So there are lots of homegrown solutions that are coming up for last mile connectivity in emerging markets in the developing world. But there are no, good solutions out there in the market. So that's the reason why we said let's, focus on this segment, because this would have a major social impact. We are focused on last mile transport. So we are looking at a low speed vehicle. We're looking at a ride share vehicle. So it's, if you look at it, so it also falls in the taxi segment or the fleet segment, if you like. And if you look at the taxi segment or the fleet segment, there are no vehicles built for this segment, except for, of course, the London Black Cab, which is built as a taxi. But otherwise, worldwide, there are hardly any vehicles built for this particular segment, the taxi segment or the fleet segment. So when it comes to the taxi and fleet segment, we are looking at the short distance travel. We are not looking at long distance travel. And we are looking at a ride-share vehicle. Today, there are lots of ride-hailing companies, ride-share companies. You have your Ubers, and you have Ola in India, you have Grab in and Gojek in the ASEAN region. But they don't have a vehicle built for their business. So it's a tech business, but they're using vehicles that have no tech in the vehicle. So ours is an 8-seater electric taxi. It has all the tech built into the vehicle. So it's kind of a plug and play vehicle that can easily, be used in the fleets of ride-hailing companies, or it can be used in other fleets. The unique value that we bring with our vehicle is that it will have the lowest cost per kilometer per seat in this particular category of vehicles. So our initial focus is going to be the emerging markets, the developing countries. But of late, even the developed countries, we have been getting a lot of inquiries because some of the cities have now reduced the speed within the city limits. So it's Paris and Brussels and all have now reduced the speed limit to 30 kilometers per hour. So our vehicle would also fit very well in these markets. But our initial focus, our focus would be the emerging markets, the developing countries. So the developed world, is always focused on speed, on range, on fast charging, and most of the electric vehicles that are coming out in the market are for the personal car segment. So they cater to the personal, ownership, which is focused on needs like speed and range and fast charging. We are focused on a fleet segment, the passenger fleet segment. As of course is a multi-purpose vehicle, so it's also fleets and goods transport. But primarily it's going to be for passenger transport. So this is a segment that we are looking at. So we are looking at the short distance fleet segment, and we are also building a vehicle that is a low speed vehicle. So our focus is on efficiency. It is not on performance. Yeah, that's a good question. If you look at it, the entire automobile industry, has not been very efficient in manufacturing. And the business model is also such that they make a lot of money out of servicing and space. So the entire way the business model is that you remove a part and replace it apart. So they don't look at replace; it's more of replacement. And end of life of the vehicle is also not looked at, very seriously. So if you look at electric vehicles, it's similar to the automobile industry, except that the big advantage is that you have lesser number of components and parts that go into an electric vehicle. So that means there is less of manufacturing, there's less of materials, there is less of energy that is used in manufacturing. But the only additional component that comes into an electric vehicle, which is the battery, the large battery packs that go into most of these electric vehicles. Now, one way to reduce, the environmental, cost in making this large batteries is to kind of right-size the batteries and have multiple charging options. So right now, all these options are not available in the market. But I would say, like when, for example, you could wirelessly charge your vehicle on the go while you drive. Or wirelessly charge a vehicle when you park, I think that would reduce the need for large battery packs. That would reduce, the need for fast charging and all of that, which has an environmental impact. So battery materials is something that everyone are talking about. So if you look at battery materials, if you look at lithium, and if you look at other materials that go into a battery, depending on the battery chemistry that you're using. Cobalt, for example, everyone talks about, but it's not necessary that you need to use cobalt in your battery. You can also have, lithium iron phosphate battery, which doesn't use cobalt or doesn't use nickel. So one is you need to use the right battery chemistry. Two, so we are looking at, lithium iron phosphate battery. So there's no cobalt, there's no nickel in the battery. Two, batteries can be recycled. First, it can be reused, and then it has a second life in stationary applications. And then it can be recycled. And with recycling, you can actually recover at least up to 95% of the battery material, which goes back into battery production. So it's not necessary that we continuously mine for battery materials, because whatever has been mined, then it comes in its use in battery packs. Then it is again recycled, and what they call it as urban mining. So you're not anymore, mining, for the battery materials. Unlike, for example, fossil fuels, where you're constantly pumping out fossil fuels from, in different places of the world. So overall, I would say that if you right size the vehicle, and if you purpose build a vehicle, and if you have multiple charging options, I think we can build electric vehicles that are much more efficient in manufacturing than conventional legacy automobiles that are. So environmental friendly, you need to look at it right from inception. Like I was mentioning, it has to do with manufacturing. It starts with design. How do you design the vehicle? So if you design a vehicle and architect the vehicle such that it is right size and right purpose, then you don't have, you're not building a vehicle that is excess in performance. Today, for example, most of the automobiles are built to travel about 200 kilometers per hour. But you can't drive a vehicle without breaking speed limits, because the speed limit in most of the cities, in most of the areas are about 100 kilometers per hour. So you're actually having performance built into a vehicle that you're not going to be using, most of the time. So it starts with design and architecting the vehicle, right? Two, it's also about how do you design for reusability, for repair, so we are already looking at a business model, which would play out in the future, which is selling miles, not vehicles. So earlier, all automobile industries were looking at selling more and more vehicles. So they wanted you to change your vehicle very quickly. But we believe as we go forward with electric vehicles, because the maintenance is very low, it would make more sense actually selling miles and selling the vehicle. So we are building a vehicle that can last for a very long time, that can be repaired easily, that can be recycled, that can be reused. So we're very environmental friendly from inception, from the concept or from the design and from the engineering of the vehicle. Then there is manufacturing. Today there is a lot of inefficiencies that comes into manufacturing, especially when you have one large manufacturing plant where you bring in all the components from all over the world, and then you put them together in a vehicle, then you export the vehicle again all over the place. So that's very inefficient from a logistics, supply chain and all those aspects. So we are looking at micro factories, and we are not looking at one large factory located at one place. So even shipping, there's a lot of environmental cost when you ship full vehicles. But if you can kind of flat pack it, or use SKDs or CKDs, the amount of shipping that also that you need to use is also much lesser. Third, we are looking at using solar power, renewable energy, to power our vehicles. Electric vehicles are most efficient when we use renewable energy, and renewable energy and electric vehicles go very well together. So the way we have designed a vehicle, of course, we have a solar roof which gives us about 20 odd kilometers per day, of the mileage. But apart from that, we are also looking at how we can recharge the vehicle using solar. So ours is a very unique vehicle architecture where we have fixed and swappable batteries. So we would like to at least see the swappable batteries being recharged using solar, which can be done offline, and then you bring it back into it. So in that way, we would also be very environmental friendly. We also would create new business opportunities for a lot of people in rural areas. So with climate crisis, there's going to be a lot of impact on agriculture, on agricultural communities. So harvesting solar might provide them an additional source of revenue. So we are looking at environmental friendliness in all aspects, in design, in engineering, in manufacturing, in energy usage. So in almost all aspects, we're looking at it from an environmental impact. We are focused on the fleet segment. So, drivers drive very long hours trying to make a living. And most of the vehicles that they drive are not, very comfortable, are not very ergonomic, so many of them have a lot of health issues. One advantage with electric vehicles is that there is no vibration, there is no noise. So, your fatigue is also much lesser when you drive an electric vehicle compared to, a conventional vehicle. Two, we are also looking at driver comfort. We're looking at, having good ergonomic seats for the driver. We're looking at, climate control, air conditioning within the vehicle. So we are looking at a vehicle that would be very comfortable for a driver, that would, reduce the health issues for the driver, and allow the driver to use the vehicle also, to the maximum, so that he earns a good living. So I'm happy that there are more and more, such initiatives coming out, new ventures coming out. I wish you all success. I wish you all the very best.